really? Do we have it well organized in the facilities and, yeah. We have a schoolroom and this one is not in it too, so.
What's up, everybody? Anyextee here, coming to you from the Mound City here in Ohio. Next destination. I am live right now, just investigating and exploring the site here for the first time. This is one of the most densely populated mound sites. Just across the river there is the Hopeton. What's up, Chris? Shout out to Chris in Italy. Shout out to Chris in Italy and everyone checking in the super chat right now. Right across the way here is the, above all things, what's up? Right across the way here is the Hopeton, I think it's the Hopeton Mounds, which have lunar, solar alignments. I believe there's other alignments there as well. They have the circular and rectangle shape that we just seen at the other site. I'm not certain if it's the 27 acres, most likely. But what I really want to show you is this, so that's directly across from here. But we're gonna go out now to Mound City, and you're gonna get a better view of what I'm about to see. So I'm gonna turn the camera around so you guys can join me on this journey. Again, I'm here capturing footage and documenting for my forthcoming vlog series, and more importantly, the documentary Ancient America that I've been working on. We're just getting started today in Ohio, immersing myself in the Hopewell, Adena, and archaic cultures. But you can see this all around here. I mean, this feels like you're in the Yucatan or in the jungle somewhere. But here we are in Ohio, ancient America, and what you're about to see is a densely settled mound site, once again with earthworks all around. Big shout out to Timothy Jack. Thank you so much. I appreciate the financial contribution. Means a lot. I am traveling with my wife and my 9-year-old. And as you guys know, there's not a lot of money in being an ancient mysteries researcher. So every bit helps. Helps with gas money. It helps with keeping us on the road. Appreciate that. Shout out to everybody. Timothy, thank you so much. All right, guys, so check it out. Here is, you can see, I guess this is probably most likely part of the embankment. Again, I haven't dug into the academic literature on the site yet, but I'm going to be learning a bit more. I do know a little bit, though. You can see one of the smaller mounds here, another one right here. Just a little difficult to make out on camera, but as we move around, you can see another one here. And just over this mound, we're going to see a unique mound in between. Well, we're going to have this one. There's another large mound behind it, but in the middle is perhaps the most unusual mound here, which is an elliptical mound. Big shout out to Dee Dee. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Once again, guys, thank you so much for all the financial contributions. I genuinely appreciate it. You guys have no idea how much. And it gives me the inspiration to want to keep doing this and moving forward. Okay, so check it out. We're coming upon the elliptical mound now. I believe we'll take a look at the official sign here. I believe it was only like 3 or 4 burials they found in this mound. But the one behind it is Central Mound, which is the largest mound here. Roots Lion, yes, the entire site is awesome. Again, shout out to everybody joining me in the super chat. Thank you so much for being here. Let's take a look at what the official signage says here. I know this is where they had the precise, yeah, here it is. The clay pot. The clay pot found here was made with exacting precision. Its thickness is nearly uniform throughout, varying only 1/6 of an inch. And so you can see what the exterior looked like. If you watched my last live video, I explained the anatomy of a mound, how they're built in different stages. And look here in the distant semblance or for scale, there's some modern humans next to the ancient mounds, just so you can get an idea how massive it is, because the camera doesn't always do it justice. But this is what you call an elliptical mound. Squire and Davis in 1846 say, and I quote, "A large number of spearheads, beautifully chipped, had been placed here, but out of a bushel or two of fragments, 4 specimens only were recovered entire. Only were recovered entire, unquote. You need to come see Kennett and Asbury Mound. Am I pronouncing that right? Okay, so here's some more of the literature. If you can always pause and take a quick screenshot of this. I will be posting all the photos on my Facebook page. For those of you that are Facebook friends with me, you'll see the photos there. This is the elliptical mound. Behind it, the largest mound, where I think it was 13 burials, I want to say. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Near Stonehenge. Yes, I got to get out there. But right now, my focus is ancient America. Couldn't agree more. Come to England, will be honored. Timothy. Yes, I have to get out to England. I've been out there before, but not to study the mounds, and I do need to get back. But right now, and for the remainder of the month, any giants found in the area, David? I'm not going to touch the giants. I'm not going to get into that here. There is a number of giants that have been excavated. When I say giants, we're talking about 7 foot tall to, I think in some cases, 7 something, which is relatively tall and could be considered a giant. I think that's the report. I know there's a lot of fraudulent, or there's a lot of, when it comes to the giants, a lot of newspaper articles, there were a lot of hoaxes and things that people published back in the day to try to get attention to some of the sites. So not really my thing. I'm not here to honor giants, aliens, elves, or anything other than the ancient indigenous human beings. I really don't want to take away from humans in a higher state of consciousness. There's plenty of other researchers out there, if you're interested in giants, that you can follow. I would advise taking all of that with a grain of salt and investigating for yourself, because in the past, when I had an interest in giants and dug deeper, I was just really disappointed with a lot of the results I found. But again, I'm not here looking for evidence of giants, giant elves. That's the thing, Bales. Shout out to Bales in the super chat. Ancient Aliens has had its run for 10 years. And when it runs its course, people want to start to say giants and elves and anything else that will catch attention and be sensationalized. But it's time we really stop paying respect to the architects and honoring the ancient indigenous people of America that once occupied this land and erected these massive mounds. Look at that. So what they're looking at over here, there's some signage. You can see some people. And I believe what they're looking at are where the wooden posts would go. That would have been a ceremonial structure, sort of like a little housing area, perhaps where a shaman would have assisted in rituals and rites. In fact, perhaps like an ancient American mystery school, as we know that different rituals and rites were performed by the shaman. So you can see here an example of where the posts would have been. Each of these all the way around here, and we'll take a look at the signage and see what the signage actually says. So yeah, I assume this is going to be another structure. This probably would have all been wooden beams. Let's see. Yep, ceremonial places. And here's an artistic rendition of what we would be looking at. So you get a sense. This is how they actually treated the deceased. Ceremonial leaders above conducted many social and religious activities in the buildings. During burial preparations, they cremated the remains here. This looks like a little baby cicada maybe, or something else. No. We're uncovered in a small mound. The ashes were uncovered in a small mound, either with burial goods, depending on deceased social economic ranking. So yeah, you can see the pattern of holes found in the ground, which represents the decoding of one of the most distinctive traditions of the Ohio Hopewell, and that is the construction and use of these ceremonial buildings, which would have once went here. They're now looking at the largest mound on site, and that mound was almost destroyed by I believe it was the Army back in the day, before preservation efforts were put into place. But what I want to show you over here is this smaller mound. adequate distance. It really doesn't look like much. Here's another one here. Really, these are best observed from the sky. And I will go into more detail once the series starts to come out and I edit all the content. I have more of my own research to do, and I will put a narrative to everything and put together a more proper, comprehensive investigation into the sites of ancient America. Here we have a much smaller mound in comparison to, and you can see the people there for scale in the distance. That is the largest mound here at Mound City. And so this small mound, you wouldn't even, just walking by, you may not even realize it, but it is highly significant. It's known as Mound 8. And it contained a remarkable find. Archaeologists found nearly 200 pipes. They refer to them, some of them, as effigy pipes, and they were used, or perhaps, I mean, we really can't say with certainty, but perhaps they were used to attune with the different effigy or animal spirits or principles or aspects of nature. Totally conjecture, but if we were to look at other cultures, say, you know, the Maya in the Yucatan, how they would, certain practices, they would, you know, connect with the smoke and burn parchment, burn blood in some cases, to create a smoke which would effervesce, go up and connect with the sky. It was a very spiritual endeavor. And so you can see over here. So yeah, you wouldn't even notice this thing. Well, I wouldn't. Oh, the untrained or uninitiated eye wouldn't. I wouldn't know if the placard wasn't over there and if I didn't do a little bit of research in advance, but this was a highly significant mound. I don't know if they've all been excavated here. I have to look into that. They may be preserving some, but I know a lot of artifacts and remains have come out of these mounds. Here you can see some of the earthworks, the embankment that encloses Mound City. So it's absolutely massive. It's hard to make some of them out. Some of them are lower. You can see some more in the distance. I'm going to head down that way now. There is an interpretive center here. There will be more there'll be an official video on this place in the future. I have a bit more reading and research to do myself. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, not only in the super chat, because this is just for the live, but please consider leaving a comment. This will help me and help to notify Google's algorithm that people are actually checking out my content. What's happening is when I do the live videos, everyone's coming in the super chat, and I'm not really getting many views, and I'm trying to get some more views. So I think, this work is important. I'd like to get it out there and introduce more people to this. So sharing is caring. If you can share the video, and please consider leaving a comment in the actual comment section, not just a super chat, to, help drive things at YouTube, to let them know that people are looking at my content so that they'll show it to more people. But yeah, you guys can see. What's up, Chris? Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate that. I'm going to do my best to keep up the work. Again, you guys can help support on Patreon. I have some really cool rewards. It's worth just checking out, just going to the Patreon page and seeing if anything speaks to you. And, in return, your smash button. In return, your contributions, of course, are genuinely appreciated. I'm eternally grateful. Would love to see an exploration of connections from earlier Adena and Hopewell to later Fort Ancient. Ed, absolutely. I'm going to go into more detail in the series. And again, I'm no expert on the mound culture right now. I'm just immersing myself in all of this now, basically. I mean, I have some knowledge of it. I've known about it for years, but I'm now really putting a strong focus on it while I'm here. And so when I do the Ancient America documentary, it will be more comprehensive, and I will try to explore that connection. The soil here, it's very soft as I'm stepping on the ground. It almost feels like I'm sinking in some places. The rich alluvial soil. There you can see the interpretive center in the back and many more mounds here. So I'm just gonna go around now and capture some B-roll for the documentary, take some notes, and stay tuned because I will be trying to go live from some of the other sites that I plan on visiting, in addition to bringing you the vlog series and documentary. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Again, please consider sharing. Hit the like button if you like what I'm doing. It helps. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. This is Anyextee coming to you from Mound City in Ohio. One of the more heavily, I believe it's the most populated. It has the most mounds. Well, this is just one group. I mean, it's so expansive. There's thousands of mounds in Ohio. I'm not even gonna be able to cover everything on this one trip. Here's one here. This is Anyextee, ADEPT Expeditions, Ancient America, signing off. Thanks for joining us, everybody.